I've always imagined to be in a place where I have achieved something. I've actually been working very hard to get to where I am today, and it has been a long period of years where I've been working with many different disciplines, doing the music, which is a big part of my life, but also doing all kind of both architecture and graphic design and kind of a multitude of designs. And that's what I love doing most. So in that way, I have, by working very hard, accomplished to become what I am today, Johannes. When you talk about projects, because I've been working in all fields of creativity, it's very difficult to actually talk about one specific project that you love, because it's like looking back at all your lovers in your life and see which one was the best. But there's no doubt where I enjoy working, where the work becomes joy, is when I work with people who are nice. And I've also taken a choice of only working with people who are nice. That's why I work with Moroso, because this is a long time family friendship, and it's a family-owned company, and I'm all about family. So in many ways, working with people who make you feel like you're part of a family is really everything you can wish for. So in enjoying this, I think the project we have done together now for this year, Salone, is the favorite at the moment. That's how you can say it. It's always like a favorite of the moment. So this is what I feel of today. The big fashion house is actually many years ago, so it lies very, very far in my memory. It was really interesting because the fashion world is completely different to the furniture world or the design world in general. But at the same time, the dynamic, the understanding of where I come from is actually a benefit in the fashion world, and it actually makes it, the collaborations become fun because the scope is different. Interior design and fashion world definitely complement each other, for sure, and they're kind of living from each other. They're absorbing each other's energy. Actually, the collaboration with Moroso is really interesting because we've been knowing each other for since I was 27. It was a kind of the right timing because we really needed to work together on something big. I didn't want to go in and just do like a simple product like one sofa or something. It has to be something where we make an impact, and also where we do products together that are very commercial, because I'm a very commercial guy. And for me, it is super important that when we do something, it has to be conceived for people to buy it, and it has to be made with love. So the creative process was amazing because I had an idea about a chair. I was drawing an engagement ring actually for a girlfriend at that time. It didn't happen because the chair is called Precious, and that's because of the ring on the finger, and the sofa is called Heartbreaker. So you can kind of connect the dots in between it. And the funny thing about these two ideas about it is that actually the best songs are always written from songwriters who are either deeply in love or heartbroken. So this is kind of the idea about the collection of the Precious chair and the Heartbreaker sofa. So in that way, it has been a fantastic way to conceive it together and talk about these ideas and how we just have done this one differently. So we can tell a very true story. I like that. What I love about Italy is that everybody here started up as small workshops, doing sofas, doing chairs, doing furniture by hand, and then expanding slowly with their saved up money, like Moroso did. It's a family business, and it's really, really honest people that has done hard work to become what it is today. So the craftsmanship is a very important point in everything when it comes to Italian companies, and Moroso is no exception. Craftsmanship is the core essence of Moroso. I mean, when you come to the factory in Udine and you see how everything is actually made by hand and people are working, they've been working there for years and years and years, you feel that everybody is a family. And that's also, craftsmanship is like it's people coming together about making something, and the CEO and Patricia, everybody knows each other. That's why I love it. Well, I think the design world has a very, very big responsibility. I mean, you say fashions can save the world. Maybe it can make the world more beautiful and people more, proud of themselves and feel better about themselves. But I think when it comes to design, and as designers and architects, we have a responsibility to actually do better and to pack our ego away and actually do something for humanity, for people. That's why we're here. We have to think about how the buildings are connecting between each other as well, and how they are interconnecting and how the people feel. The same goes for objects of furniture as well. And then of course we have to think much more about environmental issues, which the furniture world is terrible at doing, unfortunately. But the big leads like IKEA and others are trying their best to lead that way. So hopefully it's going to change in the future. So my take on sustainability, it is something that is a hygiene factor. You have to do it. If you don't work with it, you are not taking a responsibility to the world. And I'm not talking about eating less beef or flying less. There is so many things you could do on a daily basis just to change small things. Don't turn on the tap water while you brush your teeth, for instance. Yeah. But in the big picture, it's a hygiene factor. We need to do something about it. And we need to think about it all the time. It's our responsibility as human beings. Sustainability is a funny thing when it comes to materials, because if you think about materials that are reusable, most of the time that's a more sustainable approach than it is to make a chair out of sea plastic waste, because the processing, all that actually maybe use more fossil fuels than producing new plastic. I think there is a view to actually use materials more cautiously. And if you use materials that can regenerate. Aluminum is a good example. You can't do that with fabric. And you can't do that with wood, but you can burn it. Well, my advice to designers for tomorrow is very, very simple. For God's sake, be you. Do not try to change for anything. Don't try to change for fashion or for tendencies or for trends, because it is irrelevant. What you have to do is focus on what you like to do, and you have to create. And then, with time, you will find your way to create the dreams of the future and your dreams of the future. And you should do it. It's worth it.